let's talk today. Let's talk about the biggest flaw, the most annoying thing in the music industry. It just kills me. I don't understand it. It's not logical, and I would love to know what you think about it. Hello everyone, today is a day where I just feel like letting some steam off, like ranting a little, angry in a way, about the biggest, in my opinion, biggest mistake of the entire music industry. And not just the music industry. Actually, kind of everyone is doing it, and it annoys the hell out of me. Today's Friday, so I'm just sitting here discovering new music on Spotify here in the studio. That's usually what I do on Fridays, at least for an hour, just some new music. And I discovered one artist that made years ago deep house music, then future bass kind of music, and then kind of pop music, like always following the trend in a way. And that artist is called Jon Sine. Me. I'm guilty of something I absolutely hate. And I have to say, like, I'm able to make very unique music. For example, the song you just heard in the intro is called Ashes. I think it's kind of combining 2 or 3 styles of electronic music into one, but then again, it's not club, it's not pop. And I sent it out to a ton of labels, and every single label said no. Like, good track, technically good, musically good, we like the vocals, but just doesn't fit. And most of them told me, hey, we want something in this direction. And then when it was like more underground club label, they sent me something that is like, you know, the standard stuff you hear everywhere right now. And when it was pop, they always sent me like whoever's on top of the charts and told me, make something like that. That's hot, trendy, that makes money. I mean, they didn't say that, but that's kind of implied. And that is the problem that I have with this entire scene, like this, like crippling all creativity, which music should be all about, crippling all diversity and different styles of music, just at the end for the one reason that explains everything that is always going wrong. And if something is really fishy, it's always about the money. But there's like the big problem, like the people, they think the wrong way. Let me try and explain. So one example that kind of shows how ridiculous this entire situation is, I don't know if you know anything about Formula 1, like racing, going around a track. There is like this one guy, I think he's now number 1 or 2, Max Verstappen, I think that's how you pronounce it, from the Netherlands. And he's very young. He's like the youngest ever to be so high ranked. And everyone else, all of the other racing teams, they now see a young person having success. And then they conclude, and that's the biggest mistake, and it's kind of like, it's kind of crazy. They now conclude young equals good, successful. So now every team replaced almost all of the drivers for younger drivers. In an instant, it's the youngest driver team ever in Formula 1. And it's kind of silly to think just because there's someone successful that is young, to think just someone else young will be also successful. Same happens with music on a daily basis. Bruno Mars is making like a song that is 80s influence, successful. Everyone is doing 80s influence pop songs. It's annoying because then you just like hear on the radio the same thing over and over again, and no one tries to do something else until someone else comes that does something else, and due to other reasons that most people don't see, is really successful. And then again, everyone copies it. We had that in electronic dance music with like tropical house. Kygo was the first one to make it really big, and then 2 or 3 years, everyone did tropical house. And now no one does it anymore. Even Kygo himself doesn't really do it anymore. And the reason for this stupid thinking, again, is money. Successful songs succeeding, having a lot of streams and plays, then people think, okay, it's this kind of style. It seems like people want to listen to this at the moment, and then let's just make something that sounds similar, just different like MIDI chords, notes, so we don't get sued. And as I said at the beginning, I'm guilty of this a little myself. Yes, sometimes you're just sick of the style you produced for years and you switch. Yes, sometimes you hear a song you absolutely love and get influenced by it, yes. But sometimes, or kind of often, you send something to a label and they request something else from you. Because they, again, think in that kind of scheme of like, we hear this stuff, it's successful, we want to have the same success, so let's make the same product. I think with creative stuff, it just doesn't work like that. But still, people do it. Some of them then, yes, succeed with a copy of a copy, and they just kind of don't understand the main point why the person that initially made this kind of song that everyone is copying, why they were successful. And usually it's down to doing something out of the box, something new. And that point, no one copies. I don't know why people don't think like that. Let's take, for example, Little Nas X, old country, whatever it is called, this country trap kind of thing. Like, he was successful because it was like a funny combination, trap with like country, then the video, everyone on TikTok, like the marketing behind it, that he basically did himself, releasing it, and someone picked it up, made a funny meme out of it, and it kind of rolled from there. And then people start copying it, putting country on top of trap kind of songs. And the second time, it's not funny anymore. It just doesn't work. With that being said, I think this video is about like trying to encourage you and everyone in the industry to make more stuff that is different, unique. Even if it fails, at least you tried. And not just have these copycats of copycats of copycats, and also to give these people a chance. Because at the end, me, back in the days, doing these kind of styles, to a certain extent, was due to me not getting any releases with the old style or a very unique style. You just need to follow a little to get a release on a bigger label that promotes you and this kind of stuff. But I wish the A&Rs would be a little more open. Just good quality, yes, it needs to be good quality. Being different doesn't mean you're able to be bad, but if someone makes a good or decent song that is different, there's almost no chance for it being released and promoted. And every once in a while, there's one of these songs that makes it, and then again, everyone copies it. It's like an endless circle. I, for myself, figured out how to break this. I make music, I send it out to people. If they don't like it, I just release it on my own label. Once I listened again to the song and think for myself that it's good enough to be out there. If a lot of people reject your music, it can mean that it's too weird or just too bad. If it's too bad, don't release it. But if it's actually good, unique, maybe quirky in a way, maybe combine styles no one else ever did, get it out there. There's a big chance that you might be the next one, where everyone else is then saying, make something like him. And then you're in a very, very good position. Anyways, I hope all of this makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Today, for me, the rest of the day, just working on a new song. Like the last 5%, very boring, EQing, compressing. I'll share with you the results maybe tomorrow.